Hello people, my name is Talia and we're just going to dive deep into this university situation. Today we're going to get straight into the video by talking about the different universities that offer the journalism program, and we're going to compare in this video Ryerson, Carleton, and University of Toronto, and talk about the pros and cons of each university, comparing the campuses, the facilities, the program itself, and of course the residents and etc. Those kind of things. We're just gonna go straight into this university thing again. Going back to what I was talking about, we're gonna start off with Ryerson. Oh. We're gonna talk about Ryerson, okay? That's because I have a Ryerson hat. Ramley forever. Starting off with Ryerson. New for fall 2020 is the fact that Ryerson has no academic requirements. So when you want to go into the journalism program, you don't need to submit any type of portfolio, essay, any of that. You just need your grades. So as long as you log into OUAC, apply button, you're good. Just make sure that the grades are in there and everything that you took from previous years, the grades are in there for like grade 11, etc. like that. And also you can submit an optional statement if you'd like, which means that you just submit any type of portfolio or essay that you want to submit. It's only optional, meaning it's not mandatory. So if you're not really confident with your grades and you just kind of want to submit the work you've put into because you can, just do it. Personally, I don't know if I had like any best work that I have, and also I just don't want to submit it just in case. And either way I got accepted, so I'm so weird. Second is that the campus, talking about the campus and the area it's in Toronto. It's busy in Toronto, and that's why we can't have a closed off campus. Everything is scattered, so all the buildings that are part of Ryerson, the university, they will be scattered around downtown. So the Rogers Communication Center, I believe, is where a lot of the journalism activities go on, and so in that building there's the radio station, etc., and all the equipment is there. Moving on, there is a lot of equipment there, and what am I saying? Anyways, what I was gonna say is that there's a lot of equipment. What I was going to say is that I went to the Ryerson campus before, and when I went into the Rogers Communication Center and I looked inside the rooms, they had a lot of equipment. It looked pretty new, and so I was really excited about that. And not to mention, you're in downtown Toronto. There's going to be so many events that are going on, so many things to report on when you go to Ryerson, so there's nothing to worry about in terms of content. And if you want to interview people, there's people around every corner, you're going to be okay. So that's another positive part about being in a city, is that there's so many things to report on. There's going to be endless amount of things that you can talk about if you have a project at the university, in the program, yes. Now, they also have a radio station for undergraduate and graduate students in journalism at Ryerson, and it's called RSJ. I'm not sure what it stands for, Ryerson Student Journalism, I don't know. Anyways, I actually think I saw it. They have a room and they have an on-air sign and it lights up when there's things going on in there. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was so cool. I was just looking at people, and the first time I went there, they had the microphones and everything. It was pretty cool. Now, not to mention, Ryerson was also a college at one point until 1993 when it became a university, so a lot of the curriculum still has their hands-on parts, so they just really want to promote that for the journalism program and talk about and incorporate all of their hands-on parts, so going out and interviewing people, things like that. I feel like I'm talking too fast. That's okay. I'll slow down a bit. Next is that the residence may be a lot more expensive compared to other residency and different universities. For example, Ottawa, it's probably a lot cheaper compared to downtown Toronto, where there's like a lot of people, things are expensive, houses are so expensive downtown. So even if you want to rent a place, that's going to be a lot of money. Moving on, there's also A lot of facilities if you want to be more athletic and active during your university life. You can also go to the swimming pool. They have like a track and field, they have weight rooms, they have so many different things and ways to be active and stay healthy. So don't miss out on those things. If you want to check that out, you can. Lastly, Ryerson accepts around 150 students each year, so according to the website, and I'm sure it changes a little bit each year if they want to accept more or a little less, but that's all depending on the university itself, so I do not have a say on that. I am not part of the council or anything like that, but that's basically it for Ryerson. Hello everybody, now we're going to talk about Carleton. So moving on to Carleton, we know it's in Ottawa. It's in Ottawa, and it's the capital of Canada. You know what that means. There's a lot of politics. The parliament is there. So, of course, if you go to Carleton, you're going to do a lot of political journalism. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you are making your decision. If you want to go further away and you're near downtown Toronto area, that's a good place to go. I'm just really talking about my point of view because I'm a lot further away from Ottawa, but if you want to go somewhere far, if you're in somewhere here, Ottawa's a good choice. Another important thing to talk about is that it's a lot different compared to Ryerson in terms of the campus because it is closed off. So it feels more like a community because everything is together, nothing's really separated. So if you walk down a street or something, there's going to be everything that's around you is Carleton University. So that's another part. It feels a lot more cozy. There's a lot of nature also in that area. So if you're really into that and you like that fresh air, that's also a nice thing to keep in mind. A cool story that I wanted to talk about is I went to Ottawa just to tour Carleton specifically, and when I went there, we did like a 2-hour tour, and it was really long during the summer. It was really hot outside, and we got a free ticket to eat at the food court, and that food court was so good. There's so many different options, and we didn't even get everything that they had to offer there, but just because the university was closed, they didn't offer everything that they usually offer at the university, but we still got a taste of it and it was really good. But obviously, don't go to university for the food. Don't. They also have a larger swimming pool compared to Ryerson. When I went there, I can actually show you a clip after this. And the pool's really big. They have lifeguards. You can work as an instructor there. It's like any type of community center that has a pool, and so it's really easy to get a job if you already have your certifications, and you can just get straight into it, make sure everything's new and updated, good to go. And not to mention, for Carleton, they specifically say on their website for the program, or I'm sure any program that they offer there, is that if you drop below a B- first year, it'll be a lot harder for you to go second year, and that's why it's a lot more competitive because they specifically state that, so they have high standards. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And I'm sure Ryerson may do that as well, but they don't really specify that, so I'm not completely sure. And a lot of other universities do it as well, so that's that. Welcome back to the next part of the video. Now we're going to be talking about University of Toronto. Last but not least, okay? It's not the least, not anything like that. Last but not least. I have applied to all of these universities, and I've also applied to this. Okay, so talking about University of Toronto, you may have many questions. Is it in Toronto? It is in Toronto. There are actually 3 different types of campuses for the University of Toronto. So they have the downtown campus, they also have one in Scarborough, and one in Mississauga. So just to let you know. University of Toronto, we're going to talk about that. So for University of Toronto, so one thing I have to say is that when I was researching about what university I should go into, what's my best option, and of course all of them have their benefits, their pros and cons, I found out that a lot of people just consider between Carleton and Ryerson. So they only really talk about those 2 universities. So it's like, which one should I go to, this one or this one? They don't really mention U of T. So in terms of reputation for the journalism program, it's not as reputable just because I don't hear about it. So that's one thing. They accept around, according to what I saw before, I cannot find the site again to prove it, but according to my Dory memory, it's 35 students a year. Then another thing to talk about is the campus is located in Scarborough. So I'm not sure exactly how, I've never been to Scarborough before, but whether you like that neighborhood or you don't, that's up to you and your decision. To mention that this is a split program, so it's 2 years at Toronto. I'm saying Toronto, it's Toronto. Do you say Toronto or Toronto? Let me know in the comments section down below, and remember to subscribe to my channel because my channel is great, and yeah. 2 years at Centennial College, 2 years at University of Toronto. So there's a lot of theoretical and practical things going on. You're going to go to university first and then go to a college. So that may be beneficial to you or maybe not, just because you have to move around a lot for 2 years. That's basically it for this video. Thank you for watching, and remember to like and subscribe, and click on the bell thingy, and yes. And not to mention, since we're in this quarantine situation, remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and do all that, and also don't forget to have fun.